what's going on, you guys? It's Toby's Talk Show, and we're back with another episode. And today we will be talking about, who is going to give the Nets the most competition. Because last time I talked to you guys, it was a video about, how the Nets basically have won the title already. It seems like, there's no team that can beat them. But in reality, there are a few teams that do have somewhat of a chance, I would say. It seems like, if someone put a gun to my head, I would choose the Nets in an instinct. But there's still games to be played. The Nets haven't won the championship yet, so let's talk about the possibilities of who can beat them to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. So there are three teams in mind. I don't think It seems like the Bucks may be able to come back, right? I think the Bucks were the biggest competition towards the Nets, and they still do have a chance. It seems like they're struggling even without James Harden to win games, so I don't think they will do it. But there is a chance. But let's say they lose. So now we have the Sixers, most likely. I don't think the Hawks are going to win that series. So let's say the Sixers and then every other team in the West. Um, and I think the Sixers are good. I don't even think they're better than the Bucks, however. So, I think the Sixers are going to have a tougher time against the Nets, even without James Harden. Um, I think Joel will dominate, but is that enough? Probably not. This Nets team is just too good, and Blake Griffin is playing like a third star, where he doesn't even need to be the third star with James Harden there. But it's nice to have one if James Harden's hurt and he's playing like it. Um, but the Sixers, I just don't think they have enough. I think they're worse, less talented team than the Bucks, even though they are the first seed in the East. Just in a playoff format, I don't know. But at the same time, Budenholzer has really not done well coaching, letting Giannis shoot 9 threes or 8 threes in a game. But let's get back on track. I think the Sixers are good. I don't think I don't think they have enough to be the Nets. So I think the Nets have a nice road to the finals. So that means we have four teams we could look at. The Nuggets are down to 0-3. It seems like they're done for. So we are down to three: Suns, Jazz, Clippers. And I think all three of them have a very solid chance against the Nets. I shouldn't say very solid because I think the Nets should win this championship pretty easily. But I will say, they have a fighter's chance against the Nets. And, it seems only two of them will make it to the Western Conference Finals. Obviously, only one of them will make it out of the whole West. But um, I like the chances of all three of them. We could talk about them pretty quickly. The Suns, you've seen it in these playoffs. They're about to make it to the Western Conference Finals. And it seems like they have a very good shot to making it to the finals. Chris Paul seems like he's fully healthy and ready to go. It seems like this is his best shot to ever win a championship. Devin Booker is looking like a star, even superstar. Just playoffs do not affect this man at all. And they have a great supporting cast. DeAndre Ayton's playing like the third star. You have Jay Crowder playing his role. Sarge playing his role. Torrey Craig doing nice things. Cameron Payne being such a spark off the bench. This team is good. Frank Kaminsky, shout out. But this team is good, and they've shown in these playoffs. They took care of the Lakers. They've easily taken care of the Nuggets, and I think they'll have a very good shot against either team that they play. It's seeming more and more like the Jazz, but with the Clippers, you never know. They came back 0-2 in the last series, so you never know. I think the Clippers probably the best shot. It seems like they don't because they don't win their games, but the Clippers I think are the most talented, most Nets like the best team to play against the Nets, basically. I don't know why that took me so hard to figure out how to say. But you have Kawhi, you have PG, and you say these players, and Kawhi has off nights, PG has an off night pretty much every other game, and so it's tough. But they should have all the. That's what it is. They should have all the components to be able to play the Nets and beat them, and they haven't. This season shown that they can, because they're always down 0-2. And they're always, somehow in a losing situation. But if they beat the Jazz, I think they have a good shot against the Suns. And I don't know. I think they would have a good shot against the Nets. I just think, you put PG on James Harden if he's healthy. You put Kawhi and Kevin Durant. And, if you want to get crazy, you put Beverly or Reggie Jackson do a solid job on Kyrie, even though no one's going to stop Kyrie. So I just think they could, match up nicely. And they have the, players to put the ball in the basket to outscore the Nets. The Jazz, I just think they're the most well-rounded, I would say. They just have the best players. They like 1 through 10 best players. You have Conley, Mitchell, Gobert, Bogdanovich, Ingles, Clarkson, Royce O'Neal. The list goes on and on. I think they're the most talented roster. Not star-studded, obviously. I think that goes to the Nets/Clippers. Nets obviously more than three. But I think they're the most well-rounded team. And the Suns, we talked about them already, but they're just well-rounded. They're very well-rounded, and it seems like everyone is doing their part to the fullest extent, and they're dominating in these playoffs. So they're looking like the scariest team. The Jazz look very scary with Donovan Mitchell playing like Hall of Famer, not a superstar, Hall of Famer. Yeah, it's crazy, guys. There's a lot of good competition left. I just don't know if it's enough to match up with these Nets, even without James Harden, which is crazy to me. But I'm excited. There's still a lot of playoffs left to go. It's sad that the NBA season's about to end, but enjoy it while it lasts. These playoffs games are fun. They're exciting. They're entertaining, and hopefully someone could put a fight up against these Nets because I don't want to see a cakewalk. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day and weekend. Bye, guys.